had the criticism bug early on. I mean, it was really like the most sort of logical way to combine, my love of writing and books and my love of music. I took piano lessons when I was a kid. My mother made me. I hated it. I was really bad at it. I kind of couldn't understand how music got made. I mean, I could read sheet music, but I would sit down and try to play it myself, and what would come out would be so god-awful. And I feel like that fact that I couldn't do it and I couldn't really understand it and I couldn't sort of master the vocabulary of it, I think in some ways expanded my fandom. Like, it just made the whole thing seem more mysterious and sort of more miraculous and more, I think the writing became my way into it. Maybe I can sort of write through this and try to understand it, because when I sit down and try to work it out on a keyboard or I try to play a guitar, I'm just so bad. I'm such a bad musician.
In 1984, Prince recorded a song called Paisley Park for his 7th record, Around the World in a Day. Its lyrics imagine a kind of utopia. There is a park that is known for the face it attracts, colorful people whose hair on one side is swept back. The smile on their faces, it speaks of profound inner peace. Ask where they're going, they'll tell you nowhere. They've taken a lifetime lease on Paisley Park. Prince wrote often and eagerly about the idea of sanctuary, places where his spiritual anxieties were assuaged. Back then, Paisley Park was merely an imagined paradise. Paisley Park is in your heart, he sings on the chorus. 3 years later, it was real.
If you drop the needle to a song that I really love, it's like I feel it physically, it's like my heart skips a beat. And I know that sounds sort of dramatic and sort of corny, but it was like, here's the stuff that has this power over me that I really can't control. It feels like a biological imperative sometimes. And just trying to understand it. I think it's kind of like you fall in love with someone and suddenly you want to know everything you can about them. And it was the same sort of thing. What can I figure out about this stuff that has such a powerful hold on me? I think the role of the critic has changed in a way that in some ways I feel really optimistic about. I feel like the job is now to kind of deepen and contextualize and sort of do all these things that for me are more interesting than just a qualitative kind of consumer guide.
There's something profound about how Paisley Park insists on maintaining Prince's privacy. It does not need to modernize him, which feels unnecessary, or even to humanize him, which feels impossible. In 2016, the most common response to Prince's death was disbelief. His self-presentation was so carefully controlled that he never once betrayed his own mortality. He'd done nothing to make us think he was like us. During parties, Prince sometimes stood in a dark corner of the balcony and watched other people dance. Visiting Paisley Park now evokes a similar sensation of being near Prince, but never quite with him. Thank you.